Hello and Assalamu alaikum everyone. I am Nazia Amir and going to discuss procurement services, which is also called purchasing process. This process is divided into 9 steps. Number 1, recognition of need. Number 2, description of need. Number 3, determination and analysis of possible sources of supply. Number 4, determination of price and terms. Number 5, preparation and placement of purchase order. Number 6, follow-up and or expediting of the order. Number 7, receipt and inspection of goods. Number 8, clearing of invoice and payment. And number 9, maintenance of records. Number 1, recognition of need. Means by which a needed item is officially brought to the attention of the purchasing department. Two sources of purchase requirements. Number 1, department concerned or the stores issues a requisition. Number 2, operations such as production of the service requirement. Description of need. Purchasing and the user or the cross-functional team share responsibility for accurately describing the item or service needed. The purchasing should question a specification if it appears that the organizations might be served better through modification. The requisition should include all necessary information: originator, approval, and account to which cost is assigned, material specification, quantity and unit of measure, required delivery date and place, any other supplementary information needed. And the last one is some organizations include spaces for suggested supplier and suggested price. Determination and analysis of possible sources of supply. Source selection starts with determining all potential suppliers and continues with elimination on various grounds until the numbers has been reduced to a workable few. The procedure. Number 1, searches for all potential suppliers, sorts for those with whom to do business. For frequently purchased items, pre-qualified suppliers are usually contacted. For non-routine item, a survey is carried out. Thoroughness of the survey depends upon cost and importance of the item. Sourcing. The list of potential vendors is accumulated from experience, salesperson interviews, catalogs, trade journals, yellow pages, requests for quotations, direct mail, market visits, sourcing services, exhibitions, colleagues, other buyers, agents, embassies and commercial attaches, and e-sources. Assessment factors. Following are the assessment factors which is very important for any procurement, such as technical ability, manufacturing capability, reliability, after-sales service, location, price, quality. Other assessment factors: lead item, supply flexibility, delivery frequency / minimum lot size, transportation cost, quality certifications, willingness to hold inventory, labor relations, pricing terms, information coordination capability, design collaboration capability, exchange rates, taxes, duties, and the last one is regulations compliance. Selection of supplier. Now I am going to give you the criteria for the selection of suppliers, which depends upon attributes and rating scale. Attributes are price, supplier reputation, product reliability, service reliability, and service flexibility. And the rating scale depends upon importance weights, which is poor, fair, good, and excellent. Determination of prices and terms, the fourth one. Determination of price and availability may be accomplished in several ways. Number 1, commodity markets. Number 2, catalogs of the price list. Number 3, quotations and competitive bidding. And number 4, negotiation. Price. It is a very important area for any procurement services or for any procurement of materials or services or anything for every company. So a fair price is the lowest price that ensures a continuous supply of the proper quality where and when needed. Number 5th one is preparation and placement of purchase order. A purchase order is a legal offer to purchase. Once accepted by the supplier, it becomes a legal contract for delivery of goods according to terms and conditions specified in the purchase agreement. Original is sent to the supplier with an acknowledgement copy. One copy is always retained for the purchase department's file. Generally, copies are sent to receiving, accounting, using, inspection, inventory control. Follow-up and or expediting. Methods employed for follow-up varies among firms. In some firms, purchasing has full-time follow-up and expediting personnel. Some firms have developed a follow-up form to request information on expected shipping dates or percentage of work completed. Follow-up is the routine tracking of an order to ensure that the supplier will be able to meet delivery promise. Expediting is the application of pressure on a supplier to get it to meet original delivery promise, to deliver ahead of a schedule, or to speed up delivery of a delayed order. Receipt and inspection of goods. The prime purpose of receiving are to confirm that the order placed has actually arrived, to check that the shipment arrived in good condition, to ensure the quantity ordered has been received, to forward the shipment to its proper next destination, that is storage, inspection or use, to ensure that proper documentation of the receipt is registered and forwarded to appropriate parties. Clearing the invoice and payment. The invoice must be checked and audited. There is a difference of opinion on whether the checking and approval of the invoice is a function of the supply department or the accounting department. The invoice is compared with the original order and the receiving record. Invoice quantity is checked against the quantity specified on the PO and the quantity received. Terms and prices are checked against the PO. PO is purchase order. Description of the goods is verified on both forms. If the invoice has any error, the supplier is contacted for rectification. Maintenance of records. This is the last one topic of purchasing process. The minimum basic records to be maintained are purchase order log, which identifies all purchase orders by number and indicates the open or closed status of each. Purchase order file, containing a copy of all purchase orders filed numerically. Commodity file, showing all purchases of each major commodity or item, such as date, supply, quantity, price, purchase order number. And the fourth one is supply history file, showing all purchases placed with major, large total value suppliers. Maintenance of records. Additional record file may include tool and die records showing tooling purchased, useful life or production quantity, usage history, price, ownership and location. Bid award history file, showing suppliers asked to bid, amounts bid, number of no bids and the successful bidder by major items. And number 3, labor contracts, given the status of union contracts, means expiration dates of all major suppliers. Tendering. Tendering means an offer made in writing by one party to another by a prescribed date and in time to execute for a given consideration a supply of goods and or services. The Chartered Institute of Purchasing and Supply. Tendering continuity. Most appropriate for higher value and certainly higher risk procurements where transparency is a key requirement. An appropriate specification is a vital precondition for successful tendering. Pre-qualification is a useful tool to employ prior to issuing invitation to tenders. Recommends a minimum of 3 and a maximum of 10 tenders. Throughout the tendering process, potential suppliers should receive exactly the same information, preferably at the same time. It is unacceptable for details of a tender to be divulged to other tenderers without prior permission. Post-tender negotiations can be done provided that the correct professional and ethical procedures are followed. Advantages. Every process or every system or every method has advantages and disadvantages. So there are the advantages of tendering. Number 1, transparency. Number 2, an established, accepted and generally understood method, an order trail, fairness to all parties, the encouragement to competition, the production of a written quotation along with relevant supporting information against a prescribed means. And the last one is an easier comparison of offers. Disadvantages. It can be very bureaucratic. It may provide barrier for SMEs. It can be a triumph of process over substance. It is expensive for all parties, example the time and the resource in preparation and evaluation of tenders. It can inhibit negotiations. Prices submitted are often inflated to allow room for negotiation. Prerequisite. It is also a very important process for any procurement, and it divided into specifications and number 2, documentation. Documentation includes covering letter, providing instructions, acknowledgement form, specifications, delivery schedule, breakdown of production cost, quality schedule, signed declaration, a set of terms and conditions to be signed, a list of information required, request for supplier company accounts, list of supplier customers with at least one reference, documents to be submitted along the tender, etc. Pre-qualification again. Pre-qualification is better before inviting tenders where possible. Pre-qualification would include an evaluation of, for example, suppliers, financial standing, quality procedures, capacity and competence, track record. Depending upon the market, it is recommended that pre-qualified suppliers are evaluated in this way at least once every 3 or 5 years. Tender boards or evaluation panels. Tenders often arrive early and these should be stored in a safe place unopened. At least 3 people in the tender panel, including at least one purchasing and supply management professional, should meet to open the tenders and record their receipt. A special form to record receiving of tenders by deadline. Members of panel should each sign the first page of tender. Tender panel or a separate evaluation panel then has the task of determining the winning supplier. Selection criteria, which is very important. There are generally 2 forms of selection criteria, similar to the pre-qualification criteria, whether or not used at a pre-qualification stage or once the tenders have been received. Number 2, centered on the offering, example, quality of product or service, delivery times, terms and conditions, etc. The selection criteria should be agreed prior to the tenders being invited. Post-tender negotiation should be performed professionally and ethically. Bid clarification, that is, detailed discussion about the offer, should usually comprise the final stage after receipt of tenders and before contract award. It can take place with several suppliers. One way of obtaining best and final offers is to send suppliers on an anonymous basis a list of all the cost or bid prices obtained, inviting their best and final offers. A similar action is reverse auction, whereby suppliers are requested to submit offers which progressively reduce in price until they are accepted by buyers, or B, until those other suppliers decline to reduce their prices any further. Contract award. Once a decision has been made as to the successful supplier, the contract should be negotiated, finalized and signed. It's a good practice to produce 2 copies and sign both before sending to the supplier, with a request that the supplier signs both, retains one and retains the other copy. The unsuccessful suppliers should be advised that they have not been awarded the contract on this occasion. Use of bid bonds. An attempt to discourage irresponsible bidders from competing, recommended for high-risk situations. In the purchase of standard stock items available for several sources, the use of a bond is questionable. The bid or surety bond guarantees that if the order is awarded to a specific bidder, it will accept the purchase contract. If the supplier refuses, the extra cost to the buyer of going to an alternative source are borne by the insurer. The performance bond guarantees that the work will be done according to the specification and the time specified. If the buyer has to go to another supplier for rework or to get the order completed, purchasing is indemnified for these extra costs. Blanket orders. The cost of issuing and handling purchase orders may be reduced and conditions permit the use of blanket orders. MRO items and production line requirements used in volume and purchased repetitively over a period of months may be bought in this manner. All terms and conditions of estimate quantities over a period are negotiated and incorporated in the original order. Subsequently, releases of specific quantities are made against the order. Open-end orders allows for addition of items and or extension of time. Price adjustment mechanism may also be agreed upon. Benefits to the buyer and supplier. Simplification of paperwork involved in orders and invoices, assurance of regular supply, reduction of inventory investment through reliable immediately available stock, more time for purchasing to deal with more crucial concerns, effective use of sales calls for the supplier, assurance of a specified volumes of sales enables the suppliers to plan production and inventory. Here I am ending my video. So if you like my video, do not forget to subscribe my channel and press the bell icon so you can get notified when I post new content. Thank you.